So this is a movie that's been inching closer to production for almost 10 years now, and it just dropped yesterday that Antonio Banderas has joined the cast, which already included Tom Holland as a young Nathan Drake and Mark Wahlberg, who's going to be playing Nathan Drake's friend, Victor Sully Sullivan. And by the way, this movie has been kicking around for so long that when it was first announced, Mark Wahlberg was going to play Nathan Drake. And now he's been moved into another role because this movie is going to focus on a young Nathan Drake. And for those of you unaware, Uncharted is a video game series, a very popular video game series with an Indiana Jones-esque character named Nathan Drake, who basically goes around the globe solving historical mysteries. Alun, you're the gamer of the two of us. Have you played any of the Uncharted games?
I played a bit. It was a lot of fun. I think I got to go back and finish it one day.
Yeah, and the Nathan Drake character, from the little bit I know, he always looked like Nathan Fillion to me.
Yeah, and I'm shocked, I tell you, that he is not in this movie.
Yeah, part of the reason for that might just be because they are focusing on him at a younger age. So Nathan Fillion sort of aged out of the role. But yeah, when the movie was first announced way back when and they said Mark Wahlberg, I was shocked that it wasn't Nathan Fillion. So what else do we know about this movie? It's currently scheduled for release March 5th, 2021, which may not mean a whole lot because it was originally scheduled for release back in 2016, I think. It's going to be directed by Ruben Fleicher. Alun, do you remember who that is?
No.
Zombieland director. He is the 7th director who is attached to this movie.
Whoa.
I know. So this is another. And if you wonder why the other 6 directors left, it's a mix of creative differences, scheduling conflicts, which are both reasons that are often given for a director leaving a movie when really they don't want to say why they left.
Man, this movie's had as many directors as there are Paranormal Activities.
It's literally true. And so anytime we talk about a movie that is yet to be released, you and I sit here and we say, is this going to be a good movie? And the way we check that is by looking at who's making it. And we check each of those. We check their bona fides of the writers and the directors.
What?
I don't know if that's a word. But Ruben Fleischer. So we liked Zombieland, right? I would go so far as to say I really liked Zombieland.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
But I think
how come we never saw a sequel, though?
Because everything else Ruben Fleischer has done since then, I think has not been, let's say, doesn't meet your and my sensibilities. For example, Venom was the latest. Or I guess Zombieland 2 was the latest. So let's look at who's writing this movie. You've got Rafi Judkins, Art Markham, and Matt Holloway. So if you look into each of these folks, Rafi Judkins is a Survivor contestant.
All right.
I was waiting for a reaction there. And then I was going to reveal, but he has gone on to move to LA and is a writer. He's written a bunch for TV, mostly on the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he's currently the showrunner for Wheel of Time, a sort of fantasy series that is soon to be released on Amazon Prime. Then you've got Art Markham, who most recently was a co-writer on Men in Black International. And you have Matt Holloway, who is most recently a co-writer on Men in Black International, a movie I don't think either of us have seen, but there's a reason we haven't seen it. So all in all, I don't have high hopes for this movie, which is honestly disappointing because I feel like this is an untapped genre right now. There isn't really a franchise that gives adults swashbuckling adventure in the style of Indiana Jones, or I don't know if Pirates of the Caribbean is a fair comparison, but there's sort of an adventure itch that I don't think is currently being scratched. Like, what's the last adventure movie you can point to that you enjoyed?
The Mummy?
The Mummy, exactly. That's the genre I'm thinking of. The Brendan Fraser Mummy franchise. We don't have one of those right now.
Yeah, I miss movies with that vibe. You're right. This is their opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and spin this as optimistically as possible. Those three writers, if you look at Men in Black International, that had several writers listed on it. So it's hard to say how big a role did Art Markham and Matt Holloway have. They're up and coming writers. They haven't been on a whole lot of big productions. So maybe there's a few writers in the room. Maybe they wrote a draft that was better. Maybe they were just contributing to it, and they haven't given the opportunity to have total creative freedom. Rafi Judkins, he seems to be pretty much untested when it comes to film. Most of what he's done is on TV. It's hard to judge a person's TV work because when you're writing for a TV show, you're restricted to the tone and plot of that show. So maybe these three writers can pull something out of the bag. And Ruben Fleischer, we haven't loved a lot of what he did, but we both really liked Zombieland. And the tone of that movie is not super far off from what I'd want to see in an Uncharted film, where it's sort of sarcastic, doesn't take itself too seriously. So I don't have high hopes, but maybe that's for the best. Maybe my expectations can be exceeded.